so that's a reason for me to come back again. I'll bring enough copies. It's an excellent 70-minute short movie. And at the end of that 70 minutes, if you don't sort of feel a little embarrassed that you've seen something of yourself in some of those characters, each of us has a little bit of that racial prejudice that, you know, we heard at home somebody saying Malay kuai, Melayu malas, Cina makan babi tak cuci ponggong, all that rubbish. All right, you pick it up and you carry it with you. All right. Now, point taken, but I think we need to work with ourselves first. Frankly, I don't think we have a serious race relations problem at home. We've got a problem of politicians who spin the race card when they think it's expedient. Working in tandem with a mainstream media, particularly Utusan Malaysia, TV3, RTM, who broadcast these little hate messages into the homes of the Malays in the heartland. You imagine after Semayang Subuh, he opens Utusan, Astaghfirullahaladzim, what is this? Something is being said about hak-hak Melayu tercabar. And he turns, Asing, Asing, ini apa hal? Tak tahulah orang pekan, you tahulah. But it doesn't affect relations between them. Now, at night, primetime news, he sees that message repeated. Now, this is slow arsenic poisoning. What it does is this. It doesn't spoil relations between the races, but it convinces the Malay to give his vote to UMNO come polling day. That's what it does. It doesn't affect race relations. Now, it's got to start with us, and this is something that I think Philip and I were talking about downstairs. We've got to break the race mold. We've got to say, somebody asked me the other day, hey, Haris, your Barisan Rakyat candidates, no Malays. I said, yeah, all anak bangsa Malaysia. We're not going to fall into this trap of, oh, we need to look at a racial profile for a constituency. No. When Star interviewed me some time back, I said we were looking even at the possibility of offering a transgender candidate. No, I'm serious. And I asked the reporter this. I said, look, if you were faced with an honest transsexual as a candidate, as opposed to a bloody dishonest heterosexual, who would you vote for? So would I. Because we've got to move beyond this. It's not just race prejudice, it's also gender prejudice. There's a whole host of prejudices that we need to abandon, and at the end of the day, we need to look at meritocracy. Frankly, I don't care if we have 222 women in parliament, if they're the best that this nation has to offer. We got to start with the prejudices that we ourselves carry first. Thanks.
Well, yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to explain to my wife later tonight. I need to go and interview some lady boys as candidates. He'll come with me. Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Yes and no. Okay. You are right. At the same time, it's not exactly that way. Now, let's look at it. 222 parliament seats. Let's just focus on parliament. Because we want to dissect the 14 states, you know, it's going to be like a full day seminar. We'll have to do that. We just focus on the 222 parliament seats. 165 of those seats are in West Malaysia. Okay? The balance, when we talk about 31 plus 25, okay, that's 56 plus Labuan, 57. So 57 of those parliament seats are in North Borneo. There are 165 in Peninsular Malaysia. Add the two, you get 222. 165 parliament seats in West Malaysia are almost evenly divided, almost. Pakatan got about 80, Barisan got about 80 plus, slightly over 80. Now, of course, there's been some switches, frogs jump and stuff. But let's look at, don't worry so much about those who have jumped, because they may have jumped, whether the voters have jumped. Maybe the voters are even more angry because they jumped and they will still vote Pakatan. In fact, more people vote. So we talk about seats won. And don't forget, there were two by-elections, yeah? Kuala Terengganu, which was a UMNO seat. And then we had Bukit Gantang, which Niza Jamaluddin won. That was also an UMNO seat, wasn't it? Yeah. So we had two UMNO seats which Pakatan swung. So it's 82. Now, when you talk about 165 and 82, plus 83, Barisan, 82, 83, half-half lah. You just need one seat either way, yeah? So where does Barisan get its power from? If 165 seats in West Malaysia are divided equally into two, where does Barisan get its power from? It gets its power two ways. Number one, Sabah Sarawak. There's 57 North Borneo seats. Okay? Only 2 are with the opposition, which means 55 North Borneo seats, Sabah Sarawak plus Labuan, are with Barisan. Unless Pakatan can take at least 30 of those 55 North Borneo seats, Sabah, Sarawak, Labuan, Pakatan's not going to form the government. So who are the people who are going to deliver the government to the opposition? Number one, the North Borneo people, the people Sabah, Sarawak. But looking at the recent by-election in the state election in Sarawak, it doesn't look like the Sarawak people want a change of government. How do we convince a person he can change his life by changing the government, which can then change the system? If they're happy living that life of misery, there's nothing much we can do. How much we talk to the cows come home, if they're happy, they're happy. That's one. However, all is not lost. If the Sabah Sarawak people are not with us, if the Ibans, the Dayaks, and the people in Longhouse are happy with their miserable lives, as you say, you can drag a horse to water, you cannot force the horse to drink. To die of thirst. That's the horse's choice. But out of 140 seats, yeah, which Barisan National won. Now don't care, Sabah, Sarawak, West Malaysia, we lump it all together. Out of 222 seats, 140 seats are actually Barisan seats. 82 seats are Pakatan seats. We're talking about what was won in the last election. There's been some shift in between with by-elections and crossovers and stuff. But we talk about 140 against 82. 140 plus 82 is 222. From the 140 seats which Barisan won, UMNO has only got half. UMNO has only got half. Which means UMNO cannot form the government. Because with 70 over seats in parliament, as opposed to the total of 222, you don't have enough seats to form the government, not even with a simple majority. So how the hell can UMNO form the government? They form the government because the non-Malays, the non-UMNO, the Chinese, the Indians, MCA, MIC, Gerakan, PPP, and all those other non-Malays, they give UMNO power. So siapa yang bodoh? Melayu bodoh ke bukan Melayu yang bodoh? Actually Melayu pandai. With a mere 70 seats can form government by using the non-Malays. So my question is, what the hell are the Chinese and Indians and Dayaks and Kadazans and all those other people, what the hell are they doing, giving UMNO power and then complaining about UMNO ni lah, UMNO tu lah, UMNO this lah, UMNO that lah? These buggers got no power. Their power comes from you. Because of you, they have power. So this is what the non-Malays have to realize. Don't complain about UMNO. That's why when I keep saying UMNO is not the enemy. Why, ini macam sudah kena beli. Hey, when I say UMNO is not the enemy, what I'm saying is the Chinese and the Indians are the enemy. Is MCA prepared to tell UMNO we want change? If we don't have change, we refuse to be part of the government? Betul lah tu. All those MCA fellas nak jadi menteri tau. You tell what, Donald Lim want to give up his post in finance ministry by banging tables with UMNO? No way. All these MCA, MIC people, they want power. Personally. And sorry to sound, to say something very crude, but sometimes there's no other way of saying it other than the crude way. And as a non-Malays, yang bukan Melayu, you take off your pants and you bend down, and you complain when you get screwed by UMNO. Salah siapa? And this is what we've been trying to tell. Don't complain about the Malays, don't complain about UMNO. Ask yourselves, what the hell are your own people doing giving power? Now, you think UMNO will misbehave if they don't get the support of the others? No way. So that's the real problem. So yes, MCLM can go to the kampung, can talk to the people in the Ulus and Felda settlers and the Longhouse people and so on and so forth. But if MCA, MIC and all those non-Malays choose to give power to UMNO, there's nothing we can do. How many kampungs we go and conquer pun tak jadi apa.